Hi guys, welcome back to RuPaul's Drag Race Fantasy. And today I'm going to be discussing what if Vanessa Vanjie Mateo was not cast on season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race. To start off, I don't think much would change in episodes 1 to 8, as Vanessa never won a challenge and she was never in the bottom 2. This way, Soju, Kahana Montrese, Mercedes Amand Diamond, Ariel Versace, Scarlett Envy and Raja O'Hara would all go home in that order, and Brooke and Plastique would have their double shantay during the Snatch Game episode 8. Then we get to episode 9, where the original bottom 2 was Vanessa and Plastique. Now I think Brooke would still put herself with Nina in the improv challenge, Akira would still be with Evie, and Plastique would be put with Sugar and Silky's team. Out of these 3 teams, Silky, Sugar and Plastique were the underperforming team, and I think Silky just saved herself from that bottom 2 placement. Therefore, I think the bottom 2 would be Sugar and Plastique. I think Sugar would be sent home because the producers didn't really favour her on season 11 and Plastique still had her story to tell. Then we get to episode 10. This is the Drag Ricadabra episode, and I think the teams would only change a little, with Brooke, Nina and Plastique being put together and Evie, Akira and Silky being put together since Vanjie was not in the season. Nina, as we all know, carried her team in the Drag Ricadabra episode with Brooke doing okay, and Evie and Akira weren't too bad, but Silky and Vanessa stood out as the worst ones. And since Vanessa's not in the season, I think the bottom 2 would be Silky and Plastique. Now this lip sync would go down a little different to how Plastique and Nina's lip sync went down. I think Silky's a strong performer and Ru would keep her because of her personality, whereas Plastique already been in the bottom twice and she'd be sent home. Here comes episode 11, Bring Back My Queens. This was the makeover challenge, and since there's one less queen in this episode, I don't think Soju would be invited back for this challenge, which would make it a little easier on the queens as well. I think Brooke would still put herself with Plastique, Nina with Sugar, Evie with Scarlett and Akira with Honey, leaving Ariel with Silky. This way, Nina and Silky would still both be in the bottom 2, only the lip sync would pan out a bit differently. Since Silky had already been in the bottom 1 time, and as we all saw, her lip syncs purely relied on reveals, I think Silky would be sent home and Nina would be put through to episode 12. And in episode 12 we have our top 4 queens, this being Brooklyn Heights, Evie Oddly, Nina West and Akira Davenport. And since there's 4 queens, nobody would be sent home in episode 12. All queens would participate in Queens Everywhere and all queens would go through to the finale. Talking of the finale, when we get there are 3 outcomes that we could possibly get. The first group of pairings would be Akira and Brooke, and Nina and Evie. In these lip syncs, I think Brooke and Evie would win them, and I think Ru would crown Evie. The next scenario is the difficult one, Akira versus Nina and Brooke versus Evie. I think Akira would make it through to the final lip sync, and it's hard to tell with Brooke and Evie, so the first thing that could happen is they both are through and Evie's crowned, or Evie could make it through by herself and Ru would crown her. The last scenario is Akira versus Evie and Brooke versus Nina. Here, I think Evie and Brooke would be the top 2, and Evie would be crowned. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe. And remember, God bless. You got to let it go.